3 years ago, I was invited to Dhaka, Bangladesh, to speak to a group of leaders who were part of an organization that gave microloans to women. It was there that I heard about a woman who had asked for a $100 loan so she could start a coffee shop. She got the loan, and so she started her coffee shop. The streets of Dhaka are lined with little kiosks, many no bigger than closets. And out of these kiosks, products are sold, and that was her coffee shop. Over time, she paid back her loan, and she got another loan for $100, and she added bread to her little coffee shop. And she paid back that loan. And after paying back the 2 loans, she started to make a nice little profit. And with that, she made the first major purchase of her life. She bought a bed so her children would never have to sleep on the floor again. When I heard that story, I was glad for her, and I admired the organization that empowered her and helped her to thrive. But I also had to reflect on my own experience with organizations. And those experiences were not nearly so positive. For many times, I found myself in organizations that spoke very glowingly and in flowering terms about the people that were in their organizations. And then they structured those people in very disempowering ways. I began to realize that bad systems overwhelm good people. Finally, at the age of 55, frustrated and disillusioned, I quit my job. I moved to England. I got into a Ph.D. program at the University of Birmingham, and I began to study how to create and sustain empowering social environments. In short, how to help those people we care about thrive. And I discovered that there were 4 things that I could do that would help those people I care about thrive. Here's the first one. The first thing I can do is I can offer you voice. Now, offering voice is not simply asking for your opinion. I can ask for your opinion and really have no interest in it at all and be totally disengaged. Offering a person voice means I want to treat you as if you are present. As if you are not around the table, somebody's missing. That's offering somebody voice. As I went into all kinds of organizations, I would ask the question, can you describe a time you were seriously disempowered? People I didn't even know would break down weeping as they talked about painful work experiences. And again, the source of that disempowerment came from being deprived of voice, being treated as if they weren't present, almost being treated as if they were invisible. My mom's name is Elsie. She was 91 when she died, not all that long ago. She spent her last 9 years in a nursing home. She had a lot of health problems. She had a colostomy bag. Due to macular degeneration, she was virtually blind, and she had almost no teeth. But she determined while she was in that nursing home that she would live joyfully and she would try to encourage other people. One day, an elderly woman was admitted to the nursing home because she was trying to get over a serious illness. But she had another problem. She had lost the will to live. Her family didn't know what to do. The nurses tried a number of things and they didn't know what to do. And finally, one of the nurses said, I know. Let's put her at Elsie's table and see what happens. And so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, this woman who had lost hope sat at my mom's table. And even though this woman was slowly disappearing, my mom treated her as if she was totally present. She treated her as if she was interesting and interested. She talked to her about all kinds of things. My mom would have told her her life story. She would have talked about how she grew up without a father, how she lived on the farm, how she had exceptional children. She would have let this woman know she was glad she was at her table. Now, there's the second thing I can do to help someone thrive. I can be a support. Now, being a support isn't a backslapping attaboy. Being a support means I am endeavoring to understand your reality and to relate to you out of your reality. Now let's see how Mom's doing. So they're sitting there at lunch and dinner and breakfast, and this woman without hope begins to realize my mom understands her reality. She understands what it's like to be in a nursing home. She understands what it's like to live with pain. She understands what it's like to have limited capacity and diminishing capacity. That sense of shared, common life would have given her hope. There's a third thing I can do. I can be an example. Over and over, no matter what organization I went to, there was a phrase that came up again and again. That phrase was, walk the talk. We want people, we want supervisors, we want leaders that'll walk the talk. I came across a group of middle managers who said they had never seen an improvement plan handed down by their supervisors work. Now, here's what was going on. Their supervisors or leader would read a new book, go to a workshop, go to a seminar, get a new idea, come back to the organization, gather the managers together, present this new idea. And you know what the middle managers would do? They would hear them out, and then they would wait them out. Because they knew that this plan would only last until that supervisor or leader read another book or went to another workshop. They were looking for someone who would say to them, this is a hill I'll die on. I cannot not do this and be me. If I don't do this, I won't be just betraying you, I'll be betraying myself. They were looking for someone who would be an example. And this woman without hope would have watched my mom be an example. My mom joined the welcoming committee at the nursing home. And so when a new resident would come in, she would carefully make her way to a room she could barely find to introduce herself to a resident she could barely see. Because she said, I wanted that resident to know that in here they would never be alone. There is a fourth thing I can do. I can provide a safe place. Voice produces choice, and choice means risk. And many leaders never get the best that their people have to offer because they never make an effort to reduce the risk of contributing. And if I am offering you voice, and I am being a support, and I am being an example, then I have created a safe place. And so over time, this woman without hope began to feel better. And she started talking about her family. And she started talking about going home. And one day, she left. And then she came back with a card. And she made her way to my mom's room. And she thanked my mother for giving her hope and helping her thrive again. And if my mom, with all the limitations that were part of her life, could help someone she cared about thrive, certainly those of us in this room, even with our limitations, can help those we care about thrive as well.